Do you struggle with setting goals when it comes to a new year or even mid-year? This is the video for you. Sit back, grab a cup of coffee, jump into the new episode of From the Coach's Desk, where I'm going to talk to you about goal setting. So let's get into this. Okay, so as we jump into our new episode here, I hope everybody is having a fantastic end to your 2023. We're about to jump into 2024 now, so everybody is front of mind thinking about goals. What do we want to achieve in the new year? And today I thought this would be a perfect topic for our next episode of From the Coach's Desk. And before we jump into it, please make sure you do all the algorithm fun stuff. So like, subscribe, share this video. I am on a passion-driven mission to help business owners, help people just level up and reach the highest level of success that they can in their lives and in their business. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching this video, and feel free down below, leave a comment for me, and I will make sure to interact with you down there. So if you have created goals in the past, you have probably heard of SMART goals. So SMART goals are a very sort of structured way to create your goals in order to make sure that they are effective in order to reach them at the end of any specified period, right? So very quickly, very quick overview, right? So the S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, the A is attainable, which is the one we're going to be talking about here. R is for relevant, and then T is for timely. So we're just going to jump in. I wanted to give a quick overview just on the four that we're not going to talk about, right? So specific, when you're setting a goal, you want to make sure that it is a specific target. So a lot of business owners, when I ask, what is your goal for next year? They say, well, I want to have more revenue, or I want to hire more employees. That's not specific. You need to quantify that. So when you want more revenue, is it $10 more? Is it $100,000 more? Is it $1 million more? Be specific in what that goal is. M, measurable. This allows you to track your progress and then reevaluate as things come about throughout the year, right? So if you have a goal that's not measurable, you have no way to tell if you're on track throughout a period to know whether you're about to hit that target or not. So a good, thing to measure, right, is I want to have a better mindset. How do you measure that? But if you set a goal where you want to have, maybe you want to reduce the number of negative thoughts that you have throughout a day by 50%. Well, hopefully you have a baseline. Okay. So you know that maybe you think 50, 75 negative thoughts throughout the day. And then you can measure your success on that over the next 30, 60, 90 days. So there's a way to measure it. Same thing with more revenue, more employees, etc. Have a way to measure your goal. Now I'm going to skip the A because we're going to come back to that. So the R in SMART stands for relevant. You want to make sure that the goal serves a purpose in what you're trying to achieve throughout that year. If you're trying to make more revenue, you're not going to set a goal of cutting expenses. But if you are trying to increase profit, now you may have a goal of cutting expenses X%. So make sure it's relevant to kind of the overall direction that you're heading in your life. And if it's not, maybe you need to reevaluate a little bit and adjust. And then the T in SMART, this stands for time. And what we mean by time is that you need to have a specific deadline in order to evaluate your progress or whether or not you're going to reach it. So a lot of people use quarters. Obviously, at the beginning of every new year, people use the next year, the next 12 months. I'd like to break them down. Yes, I want to have if you heard me talk, we have 100-year plans that we develop, and then you have your 25, 30-year plan that you're going to develop in your business, but then you break those down even further to yearly and quarterly goals so that you kind of make sure that you're on track. And if you're not on track, you can reevaluate these in a timely manner. So make sure there is some sort of time component to your goal to make sure that you can track it on the timeline. The A used to stand for attainable in the SMART acronym, right? This is where I like to delve away and where I put a twist on the SMART acronym when it comes to my clients setting my own goals. And that is, you don't want just attainability in your goals. Your goals should really push you forward, right? They want to challenge you. You want to make sure that you're pushing yourself past your limits. If you've always achieved Let's say you've always been around that $100,000 a year mark. Well, don't just set your goal at $105,000 and think, oh, well, that's a good goal. You want to push yourself to the limit. So you want to set your goal to be $250,000, because what's going to happen is the action that is developed from that goal, that basically you need to 2.5x your revenue. What are you going to do it? Right? What steps are you going to start taking today that's going to get you to 2.5 times if you've been stuck on that plateau? What are the strategies you're going to implement? What are the things that you're truly going to have to change in order to reach that new goal? If you've always set your goal around $100,000 a year mark, you're just going to be complacent. You're not going to do anything differently to get more success, to get more profit, right? So the reason why I say use ambitious when it comes to goal setting is, right here, we have four points for you. One, you're unlocking your potential, because by doing more and pushing yourself to do more, you're going to be able to unlock your full potential that you have available, not only in yourself, but in your business. The second area is that it truly opens up a visionary type mindset. You can, when you're setting your goals, don't limit yourself. Truly open up that vision. Think back to when you first started your business. You probably started it with the idea that you wanted to be a millionaire, or that you wanted to open up a whole network of locations and employ hundreds of people. Well, what happened to that if you're not there yet? Start setting your goal to get you on track to reach that. So if you're at 100,000, reach for the sky. Set your goal at 150,000, $200,000. Don't stay in an attainable mindset. Really start to use your visionary type mindset. 3, and I briefly touched on it already, is that you truly get more motivation and engagement out of stretch and ambitious goals than you would out of something that's attainable. So your motivation when you set your goal to do $200,000 or $250,000 when you're $100,000 in business, and this applies to any sort of level, increases your internal motivation, because now you have to strive a little bit harder to reach that goal. And here's the thing. Even if you fail at reaching a $200,000 or a $250,000 goal, you have now failed more than you would have set your goal previously. So let's say you're striving for 200,000 and it's the end of the year and you only got to 180. Well, guess what? That's $75,000 more than you would have set for yourself if you would have just set an attainable goal of $105,000, $110,000. This is why ambitious goals serve well. It pushes you past your comfort zone, increases your motivation, increases the engagement from the team, especially if you have a group of employees and you're really passionate about the goal, and you can message that and talk to them about that and get them engaged with that goal. They're also going to push themselves past their, and unlock their potential, like we just said in number 1, right? And the fourth one here is that it truly inspires innovation. If you only set attainable goals with current revenue levels, you're never going to think outside the comfort zone of, what do I have to change? What process needs to be improved? What system do I need to update or even bring in and introduce a new system to the process? By setting ambitious goals, you can inspire innovation within your business and begin to see bigger, right? Do that visionary mindset. So all of these things kind of play together. So when you set an ambitious goal, you will find yourself being more innovative when you look at the processes that are in place in your business. This will then allow you, right, to change things in order to truly transform the way that you enact on a day-to-day basis. So to kind of recap, don't set attainable goals. The other 4 areas, the S, the M, the R, the T, I 100% agree with. But the A, do not set an attainable goal. Goals are not pats on the back. Goals are there to motivate you, to push you forward, to challenge you, to set your limit higher than you ever thought before. And what's going to happen is the 4 things that we just talked about. You're going to unlock your potential. You're going to start thinking in a visionary type mindset. You're going to increase the motivation for not only you and your team, but you're also going to increase your engagement. And the 4th thing is you're going to see an increase in the innovation that is brought into your business through this new goal. As you begin to create your goals for 2024, or even if you already have created your goals already for the new year, go back and review them. See how many of them were truly ambitious goals, or were they just attainable goals? Also, make sure the other 4 areas of the SMART acronym are in place in your goals. If they aren't, you have the time to change them. You can update them, make them, more specific, make sure they're measurable, right? Make sure they're ambitious, make sure they're relevant to the mission and the path that you're heading on with your business and with your life. And then finally, make sure there is some time, element to your goal to make sure that you can actually track it accordingly. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, I hope you've learned at least 1 or 2 things that'll help you set your goals in a more positive light, begin to stretch your limits a little bit more in 2024. So please make sure you hit that thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see any new episode that we do when we release it. And share this with somebody in your life who is going to be setting goals, whether they're a business owner, whether they're just somebody who is wanting to level up their life. Make sure you send them this video and share it, because if you don't, you're just holding them back. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a wonderful and amazing rest of your 2023. And here is to a successful 2024. I'll see you in the next one.